Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm G, this time with a Warframe video. Now, when Portia dropped, it also dropped the new corpus design and some reworks to the boss we were new as Jackal. Now, Jackal has a few cinematics, is also a little bit different to fight him, and this video is to help you out, those who might have trouble with it. So, Jackal, in this sense, this time you have to shoot one of his limbs, one of his legs. After you shoot one of his legs down, it gets destroyed and he goes into this hover drone mode where he displays these barriers. You have to avoid the barriers. Once after a while he comes down and you can go close to him and do a finisher. After that he runs away and then you have to repeat the cycle over again. You know, take out a limb, avoid the barriers. He goes into drone, he comes down and you hit him. It's pretty simple, but it's also pretty cool to have this mechanics. They also changed some mechanics a while back, fighting the islands with the Rapalis, which I thought was amazing. I don't particularly like the Rapalis, but you know, that's another subject. So when he dropped, when all this changed up, he also delivered us 1 week of sorties against the Jackal, and this is a level 100 Jackal. So here is how I went about it. First of all, I took Chroma because Chroma has ability to max out to increase his damage and his strength, his armor. So I took a max build of duration and strength. I had in there, you know, blind rage, narrow-minded, prime continuity, steel fiber, and vitality. Some people use umbral mods. I don't really like using umbral mods, you know, because then I have to use a lot of format to put the polarities to fit them in. So I just use this build right here. Also took arcane barrier and grace to give me that little extra of life and health. So yeah, so Chroma is the way to go. So the first weapon I tried that worked really well was the Imperator Vandal. The Imperator Vandal is already the weapon that we use against the biggest corpus bosses, which is the Orb Mother and the Orb Explorer. So I said, well, I'm going to try this one. I took the same build I use against the Orb Mothers. I do have a ribbon for it, the Imperator Acreata. I also took Critical Force, all bullets, Magma Chamber, Electrified Barrier, Rubico Line barrel. There is a prime Rubico Line prime barrel. I haven't got it yet. I think it's Peru that's going to bring it sometime in the future. The paralyzed scope and the dual rounds. As you can see, it's a radiation crit build, and it works beautifully against him. It has a really good range. It does tons of DPS. If you have it, take it because it's like the number one easiest way to do it. The only problem you might have is hitting the back limbs if he's facing against you, you know, because you take out the forward limbs and then the back limbs, you know, stay behind it. So, you know, you gotta move around. But this is with every weapon is like this, because this has a really good fire rate. You can just, you know, melt it really fast. So that was pretty good. The second weapon I took was the Eidolon Hunter, the Rubico Prime. Of course, I could take the Lanka, which already has the electricity, and I can modify it for radiation, which I also use against the island. But I really suck at using the Lanka. Also because, you know, it has that really big zoom. So I just said, you know, I'm just going to take the Rubico and be done with it. And, you know, I was right. The Rubico was the one I got the fastest time in killing this boss. So I took a Rubico with I have a ribbon for it with the Rubico Acreto, also a little bit of crit. Vital Sense, Point Strike, Split Chamber, Heavy Caliber, Hellfire, High Voltage, and Serration. So, you know, it's a typical build for hunting Eidolons with high radiation, because this boss is also susceptible to radiation. And, you know, it's pretty cool. The only problem I have, because I can't really aim very well, you know. I'm with the controller, so it's sometimes a trouble. It's hitting if he turns at you and you have to hit the limbs behind him, just like the Imperator. But the Imperator, because he has a really big fire rate, you can do it really easily without even aiming. Well, sometimes, but with the Imperator, with the Rubico, I mean, you have to aim. You have to be, you know, really good alignment with the members so you can take them out. But you know, it only takes about, I don't know, 3 or 4 shots, not even 3 or 4 shots, and the limb goes out just like that. So it's a really cool weapon. The last weapon I use was a melee. I wanted to take him out with a melee, so I was thinking, well, what could I use? Maybe I could go close to him and hit him. But then, he stomps, and then I probably have to switch to Rhino. But then I remember, the Zaw. The good old Zaw that we use in Scarlet Spear. Yeah, that's that's the way to go. So I just modified it for radiation. I took the one I already used in Scarlet Spear, which is the Stefan. I also have a run for it. I'm really lucky to have runs for all of it, but it took a lot of time to get them. But I got a Stefan Paravisus, I think it's never mind. With Shock and Touch, Molten Impact, Prime Fever Strike, Prime Reach, Spoiled Strike, North Wind, and Prime Pressure Point. I mean, Prime Reach isn't really that much of a thing because I'm not really counting all the reach or whatever. I'm just throwing it. And of course, you have to take the Arcane Contagion. Without the Arcane Contagion, you will not be able to, throw it against the boss. The problem this weapon has is that you have to rely a lot on the blast radius. At one time I think I almost took out 2 legs at the same time just with the blast. But then to take out the last one again, because it turns to you, you have to try to make an arc to hit a little bit behind it or maybe under it, and hope that the blast radius hits it. It takes a little bit longer, but it's still doable. You can still do it with this weapon. All in all, I really enjoyed this fight. I really hope they rework other bosses. Everybody's looking for the Captain and Nathaniel, which is like the most ridiculous boss we have now in the game. So hopefully that will come soon. Other than that, yeah, I hope this video helps you. If it does, if you found that there's better weapons, or maybe other builds, which I'm sure they are, just write them down in the comments. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you do, please like and subscribe. And as always, have a great game, guys.
Target down. Assassination contract complete. Great work, Tenno.